That's the list.
Welcome, everybody. Today is September 16th, 2025. This is the Hannah City Village Council meeting. Everybody, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Please action. Even was facing the wrong way. You're supposed to catch
I meant to say something about that.
Okay. Mr. Finn. Wiley, you're here for observing. Danny, you just observing too? I'll take that as a yes. And Nathan Hendricks is coming. Okay. He's on his way.
Yeah, sorry, I was away from my phone. I'm just observing.
Okay, thanks, Danny. Everybody should have a copy of our August 19th, 2025 meeting minutes. Went through those. Any corrections, changes?
Make a motion that we approve previous meeting minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Pearson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion, comments? All those in favor signify by... Someone have something? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Where's Cassandra?
So the treasurer's report's a little hefty this time because we skipped a meeting. Also not on the treasurer's report is the invoice here for the sidewalk that they just got to us like a few minutes ago. So I will be paying this in the amount of $188,000, $188,966.31.
We don't need to send that to vote because we've already approved the project.
Right.
And if you remember right, I think we were approved up to like 190.
It was $198,500, the original amount.
And all they have left to do is to
Seed in the grass.
put down the topsoil and seeding.
Looks good.
Yeah.
And you'll notice
The west end's a little rocky where it goes from 7 to 5. But it won't look quite as bad once they get the dirt filled up and the grass in, I think.
and there are 4 payroll reports in here, as well as the interest report for Illinois funds. Interest was $7,743 last month.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Great.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay all outstanding debts.
Second.
Motion by Pearson, second by Chris Johnson. Any discussion, comments? We'll roll call this. Weaver?
Yes.
Miller?
Yeah.
Pearson? Yes. Chris Johnson?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Brandon's joining.
Brandon is?
Yeah.
Perfect time, Mr. Lott. You're up. Can you hear us, Brandon?
Brandon, can you hear us?
You do the YMCA?
Can you hear us?
Me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Brandon, you're up.
Okay, I didn't, I just checking in to see if anything might be needed from me. Brian, I think we're keeping up with you with respect to the, I don't know what the title, what you're calling it, the new property. Just checking in to make sure we're all on the same page. That's all. I didn't have anything to report.
Yeah, Shanna, I saw an email. Are we waiting on a plat for closing?
Yes, we are. I don't think we have to have it for the closing, but Bill was concerned about maybe the seller not being able to sign it afterwards, or he wanted it signed at the closing. He figured it'd be easier for us. So far, we've not heard back from Ken Silverthorne if he has done anything with that.
That's with
Do you know,
Caleb.
Brendan?
Caleb's got the draft to review. We were going to have him kind of take a look at it and give us any additional guidance. But yeah, Caleb's got it to review. I can send it to you as well. But it's done.
Okay.
Ken's done, and we're just waiting for a blessing from Caleb.
Well,
Okay.
closing's Thursday, so 1:00.
Like I said, it's done unless Caleb has an adjustment or a change. So that could be provided within minutes of his blessing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Have we heard anything about the water tower?
There is a question now about the rates. Your average rates don't seem to match the billing structure, so tomorrow won't be a good day, but I wonder if Thursday we could have a call and sort that out.
Yeah, I think they already asked Sarah about that, and I think it has to do with the in-town, out-of-town.
Yeah, it does, and we can't seem to communicate to them the complexity of the rate structure. So maybe just another call to try to sort that out for them. I don't know if an example bill is the best way to do it, but I think what they're doing is applying exactly what you said, the averages, which combine out of market or out of village rates with those that are in, and they can't seem to get the math right. So I think we can solve that with a call. Unfortunately, it'll probably have to be Thursday.
Okay.
That's all I have, Tony.
Any questions for Brandon? Thank you, Mr. Brandon.
Thank you. If I can bug out, I will. I just wanted to poke my head in. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Brings us down to the attorney report. Shauna?
Okay, well, everything seems to be moving really smoothly for the closing. We had the final closing statement. The numbers look good. I think we have everything except for that subdivision of plat. So I'm glad to know that that's done and we can have that soon. The only other thing I have is that later in the agenda, you're going to vote on the grocery tax ordinance. And if it passes, I just wanted to let Denise know that that needs to be filed with the IDR before October 1st.
Yes.
So I just wanted to reiterate that fact to make sure we get that benefit by January. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Thank you, Shauna. Any questions for Shauna? Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you.
Mr. Baylor. All right, you've got August financials in your packet. Not a whole lot. For the month, we had $130,000 of income, 111. That's before adjustments. After adjustments, we had about $10,000, a little over $10,000 in real estate expenses. They earn us money for the property we were buying and the legal invoices. Plus the fee, finder fee or whatever we adjusting. Yeah, the consulting fee. Yeah. So we were just about 30,000 to the positive for the month. And if you look at the breakdown, go to the adjusted version where I backed out those real estate expenses. So you can see positive across the board for each of the funds. General, we were positive. Income was better than planned. Property tax and sales tax was up. Expenses were better than planned. Some of it's timing, and we haven't done much on the code book, so some of that hasn't been processed yet. Water was positive. Sewer was positive, and garbage. Everything, like I said, was positive. So
July MFT, that was very negative, and that was because we guessed and we budgeted for the MFT invoice for last month, and it came in this month. So last month we were way over. This month we're way behind, but it happens, evens out when you look at the year-to-date numbers. TIF, all income, no expenses. BDD, income, and then I think we had one grant. So everything's positive. Keep in mind that the TIF, got to give 80% of the residential money does go back to the other taxing bodies, so that number's always inflated for a while. Year-to-date core funds, so I go to the adjusted version, so I backed out the alleys, the money we spent on the alleys, the real estate expenses, the sewer loan, sewer lagoon, solar loan, and then the shed out at the lagoon. I back all that out. We're 217,291 positive. And if you look at the breakdown by each of the funds, you can see we're doing pretty well. I do think that year-to-date number is inflated a little bit because we did have the earnest money from the property we sold in there, which really is an income, but it shows up as income, and then we move the cash down. I don't know if I'm going to go through all the details. I'll just go year-to-date MFT. Then you can see we're back on budget. Shouldn't have, other than some engineering expenses, we shouldn't have any more expenses on the MFT, so we'll just be building up money. TIF, there again, that number is inflated to 179,317 on the income line, again, because of the 80% that will return to the other taxing bodies. So that number will come down. BDD, pretty much timing. The grants are taking a little bit longer this year to go work their way through. And then if you look at the last page, the cash, so we've got 488,000 in checking, 2,000 or 2 million, a little over in savings, a total of 2.5, which is a pretty good number. We did move some more money down into the Illinois funds at the end of the month. And then the detailed cash sheet here, you see I highlighted everything in yellow for Chris, even the smaller ones. But you can see the streets is, with the work we've done there, the streets is down. And then the MFT with the money that just went out, those were the biggies. All in all, 4 months into the year, so tracking along pretty good. What? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you bet. I didn't want to get caught off guard.
Any questions for Brian? Thank you, Mr. Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to committee reports. Finance, Mr. Pearson.
Yes, sir. A lot of money moving around, but it looks like everything's covered on the rest of it except for the grocery tax. If you could shine a little light on that for us.
Yeah, so you want to go ahead?
So the governor has, at the end of the year, we'll be eliminating the grocery tax for statewide. But that does not mean that municipalities cannot keep that themselves. And the reason that I have brought this forward to the board for review is because there have been a couple comments that I've heard with other mayors. A talk that I had with Brad Cole from the IML is there's a big push by the IML to try to get more of our taxing money back to the municipalities to give us the better split. And one of those questions is when people are going and they're asking all these people, all these other lawmakers say, hey, we need this money back. We need this tax money back to be split back up evenly the way it used to be. And they're like, well, have you implemented your grocery tax? No. Well, why not? It was a tax that was already there. So a lot of municipalities are going and keeping the tax. You know, it's not much, especially for a small village like us.
I mean, the only thing we have would be Dollar General, right?
Dollar General, or there are grocery stuff at Casey's too. So
Basically, it was in
1%.
it's 1%, yeah.
Where would that money go to? It just transfers to the municipality, but what do we have to put it in an earmarked fund, or is that up to like?
That's up to us to spend it.
Was that already in our BDD
No,
thing?
Different.
Different, okay.
we would have received the money last year from the state, but then they eliminated it. So all we're doing is putting it back in place just at the municipal
Well, yeah,
level.
I just didn't know if that was the 1% we offer on BDD.
no, that's totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why we have to file this before October 1st with the Department of Revenue. Thank you. I was thinking labor for some reason. Revenue is because if we don't, then it won't be until after January that we would get those, be able to start collecting funds. And then, of course, then there's a 6-month period that you've now been waiting or haven't had that tax in place that you're losing out on. So
Just curious, do you have any idea what that accrued last year, money wise?
No, because I
What to
think it was
expect?
just bundled in with the sales tax. So
Do we have any idea what it would add to our revenue?
I mean, actually,
It's not
we've been
gonna-
operating without it. Right.
It's still in place.
no, it's still
Oh,
in
wait,
place.
is it?
Yeah, it's still in
So
place.
this
Oh,
is
that's
just
right.
to
It goes
keep
away.
January 1st.
Okay. So we're basically just moving it from one hand to the other.
Moving it from it going to the state to going back to the village.
Well, and it would be it going to the state, and then the state giving it to us. This is just us taxing
We're just
straight.
cutting out the middleman.
But
Minimum.
we will be able to in next year's budget. You know, yeah, I'm assuming you'll put a grocery. I don't know if
I don't know how it'll come through. Yeah.
if it comes through as the grocery tax
Yeah.
or whatever, we can start to track it and see how
Yeah.
much it is.
Yeah, we can make a line item in the budget, and that way we can track it and then use that for whatever we need to.
Just to play devil's advocate, do we need it?
Again, when we are wanting more of this tax money back from the state, and they say, well, "Why are you implementing your or your grocery tax? You don't need that tax money for grocery tax, so why do you need this other tax money back?" Playing the devil's advocate the other way, because that's what the state's going to come back and tell you. That's what all the lawmakers and all the legislators are telling everybody. They're saying, "Hey, if you're not going to go get this
Because we
tax,
like our residents.
No, they're just making you jump more hoops.
I'm assuming.
I understand that.
I'm assuming we can vote to take it off if we want to.
yeah, we can. That's our tax. We can do anything we want with it. I mean, it's."
But we also just did the, federal communication tax, which nobody told us we weren't getting that for years because we had to file it. So
What I would say is I don't know because I don't know how much it is. So in my mind,
But it won't change for our consumers. The consumers will be paying the same dollar amount.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So honestly, I mean, it's a 1% tax, and it's only benefiting the village, which in turn is going to benefit all of our residents.
Right.
So it's, I
Or
don't see a problem with it. I like it.
Even better yet, it's gonna people stopping through. Going somewhere. You're stopping through. Somebody is driving through town. Oh, hey, I want to stop at Casey's. Oh, I'm going to get some donuts and stuff. That's a grocery. Anything that's prepackaged grocery, like donuts, that are in the cellophane wrappers. All that stuff is considered a grocery item.
the other thing.
And if we ever open up another gas station,
Yeah, that's what I was just about ready to say.
Yeah.
that's
Or see how much it is,
We get a grocery store,
and then if we decide we don't need it later, we can always repeal it.
it's a good idea.
You know,
and that's something we can always
course
repeal.
not.
Yeah, I'm in favor of taxing Dollar General and Casey's, but I'm not in favor of any course of events that would lead to groceries being or food items being more expensive.
There won't be one more expensive. They're already paying it right now.
Same.
So it's not like we're adding more on top of it. We're
and
just
that
going
would
to
just
keep it.
be more profit that the corporation gets to keep because they're not going to lower their price by 1%.
I'm sold.
I'd like to know what the number is. That's what I'd like.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And I don't know how to do that other than we'll get it, once we start.
Just because I know I spend a ton at Dollar General.
We can do too.
But how much money is the 1% from the BD? I know that's on just all sales tax, but that's
About
bringing in,
135,000 a year.
bringing in a not inconsiderable amount of money.
No.
Especially a place like Casey's. I mean, you get those people driving into Peoria and they go through Casey's. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the traffic that the coffee can was missing out on was going to Casey's.
Yeah, but we do have a new business in town that's open, Black Sheep, so that's good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no.
I haven't gone into the new shop yet.
Trailer now? Oh my God, people
But anyway, let's get back on track as far as
crazy.
on the grocery tax. So,
This is your finance chair. This is your ordinance.
He didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to.
Somebody gonna make a motion or not?
I'll make the motion to implement the municipal grocery retailers occupation tax, and municipal grocery service occupation tax.
I have a motion by Weaver,
Second.
You.
second Sidak.
I got a final question.
Any comments, questions?
So let's say we do, everybody does vote, we make this go through, and then I don't expect it, but we get community kickback. Is it one of those things, you said that the old one ends January 1st, so if something happened, we would have to wait till after January to re-vote to remove the old one if that happened, correct?
We can't remove the old one.
Or to the new one, I mean, not the old one, because the old one goes
This
till
one won't
January.
take, Shauna, if I'm correct, this won't take effect until January, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't be able to file another one until April, and then that would take effect later. So
So regardless, nothing could change till the new year. That's what I'm
Correct.
getting. Okay.
So Brian, what's holding you back? I want to hear you.
If I have a chance to eliminate tax, I want to eliminate tax.
That's fair. That's very in character thing.
Especially if it's at 1%. And, we don't even know what impact that's going to be. We could still do it again later if we want to.
And I'll bring up if we would have done the BDD and the TIF district before, we had the chance to do it before the Dollar General was built. If we would have just done it, we would have had those tax dollars.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion is I don't want the village to lose out on anything. Still personal gain to me, so it's for the village, to get that 1% that we're still already getting. It's just, we'll just be able to get it instead of it coming from the state. It's still going to come in from the state, but it'll become directly to us. It's not pied off.
But it would be getting eliminated.
It's being eliminated from the state as it being their own deduction. We're filing this with the Department of Revenue. I want to say labor. That way, when the taxes are taken out, that 1% comes directly back to the state or to the village.
And almost every municipality has done this.
I don't care about that.
I know. I'm just saying,
Municipality,
we're not.
You want to do it even less.
My only fear is I don't know how much it is, and so it could be a significant amount. I don't think it is, but
It might be the difference between
Well, I mean,
the
it's-
water tower.
You spent $20 an hour in general. It's
that is
$0.10.
so
500 people a day. You're talking about
No. Because BDD is 1% on sales tax, so I can imagine
They sell
if we're
Maybe
doing
at
our
least
groceries,
a
it would be
quarter of it.
less.
Right?
Yeah, but that's, of course, so
I mean,
20 grand a year.
Pills in refueling is what you do a lot. So,
So any further discussion? Comments?
It's
Questions?
easy for me to waffle on it. It's just 1%. It doesn't feel very high stakes.
Okay, and we'll roll call this. So start with Miller,
Yeah.
Pearson,
No.
Johnson?
Yep.
Sidak?
Sorry.
No. 2-2.
I have to go back to
No,
Mr.
Rod.
Yes.
Did you say
Motion
yes?
carries.
Oh.
And see, that's the honesty that I want from you guys. You know, I know where you go. And that's what the board, and I don't, Rod knows how it was in the past. Some of it would just seem like it was always, everybody was following along, and I don't want that.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, and the other, like I said, if we can track it, we'll have better data in 6 months.
Can we have a discussion maybe at the first of the year when we start getting this data? 6 months, you said,
we probably won't get any
We won't
data.
know until.
where we can discuss how maybe that money could be spent and maybe earmark it for something specifically, like a certain fund.
Or we're already spending it.
Where's it going now? It's going to,
It's coming
in
in as
general.
sales tax.
So it's just
Revenue
going
sales
straight to
tax.
general. And so it would just stay in that same fund.
But we could earmark it if we wanted to do something with that 1%. And then it could be that 1%. That 1%, I've seen a lot of places will take that penny tax, or what they call their penny tax, that they've collected over X amount of years. And they've used that to redo main roads. And I mean,
Well, I'm thinking sidewalks because we've had so many people be open. I mean, I don't think it's that much money, but it could be something that we could earmark for. And then the whole community is getting something out of it. So.
It's definitely, and you know, the more obligation, or I'm saying more opportunities we have, the better when we can do stuff like that. So that ordinance will be 25-09-01. Anything else under finance, Mr. Pearson?
No, sir.
Nothing under planning and zoning? Nope. Will you check with Caleb about those plats?
Yeah. We'll make sure we got it.
Okay. Sanitary sewer, Mr. Chris Johnson.
Yes, sir. So we've talked about this in the past, that we were kind of toying around with the idea of postponing the sewer lining. So that's kind of what we're going on with the plan right now. We're going to instead address the lagoon capacity issue this year. That'll help us keep costs down. And then we can restart that lining for next year. Brian is looking into a grant type program that'll help address that infiltration, concern or issues that we're having from homes. I did want to just give you an opportunity. Did you want to speak to that a little more?
Well, one of the things Jim brought up is once we get the lagoon, I think we found some pretty easy solutions to do down at the lagoon, which is going to help when we get the heavy rains, that the kind of capacity issue. I think we figured out a plan for that. So once that's done, the more we line the sewers, the faster stuff gets to the lagoon, which is good. But Jim thinks there's infiltration could be infiltration in the lines of people's homes. I don't know if that they're old sewer lines or whatever. And so the question is there a way to use BDD or TIF funding in order to run a program that if somebody does have a lateral that needs work, that we could share that cost with the homeowner. And then they would get it fixed.
Can of worms.
Huh?
That's an open big can of worms.
Well,
Yes.
we have, and right now I'm working with with Gwen at the Economic Development Group to see if there's a way to put conditions on it. In other words, we would have to TB it and prove that it needed to be done before we would do the work.
I could get us in touch with the guy that'll do. I think they do water line insurance and
No,
sewer
it's-
line insurance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
It wouldn't be for us, but because it wouldn't be on ours. Because anything from there back is on the resident and the connect, right?
Everything.
For the everything on the lateral is there.
Yeah, from the right of way to the home is the responsibility of the homeowner.
Okay. And I'm not going to IML this year, but I know he'll be up in IML, so I will send him an email to see what it is.
At this point, all we're doing is exploring whether or not that's even possible to do, and whether or not we do it or not, then that's down the road. But Jim seems to think if you can address infiltration, then it'll improve the system significantly. But
Oh yeah, it definitely will. But with the more lines that we get relined, it's still going to be getting there faster.
yeah, but if we take the infiltration out, there'll be less going in, less stormwater going in.
And I guess then we also really have to check. And I'm not sure if Jim is familiar with who's who, and I'm sure he is, but people pumping their sump pumps into the sewer.
Yeah, he didn't seem to think there's a ton of that, but I don't know.
That was it for sewer. End of report.
Water, Chris Johnson?
Yes, sir. I'm going to start off with my shut off report. I have 25 shut off total. The shut off notice amount is $6,948.50. I have one on level pay. No amount listed, level pay. I have 6 in foreclosure. The total amount in foreclosure is $550.89. Approximate gallons sold, 2,259,000.
Somebody sneeze?
Was that a sneeze? Okay, I thought somebody's. Never mind. Approximate gallons sold, 2,259,319. 2259,319. And I do not have anything to report on water, so end of report.
I do want to back up on the sewer. I forgot to mention that when we set up the sewer lagoon loan, they timed it out to where when you get the money back from the state, then that's when you pay the big.
Oh, the solar?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the solar. But since some things were delayed, we're off a little bit, and we've got a $40,000 check that we're cutting.
It's actually 48,000 is the principal plus the interest, so it's a little bit.
But we're delayed on getting our other checks in. I think we've got the cash to cover it. She and I are going to look at it tomorrow. We're also going to get with Nick at the bank and then get us back on the schedule. So in future months, it'll take care of itself. We're supposed to be getting a $22,000 check from our first state payment, and then we're also supposed to be getting a $40,000 payment from Hammer. Those two things are supposed to be happening right now. So assuming those happen, we'll have the money to cover it. And again, it's not that we don't have the cash to do it eventually, but we wanted to time it up so where we weren't using our own cash.
Exactly. So we're trying to get it so it balances out itself out.
Yeah, the money comes in and then we make the payment. Yeah, that was the plan.
Building the grounds, Mr. Weaver?
You want me to go? Yeah. We closed on the sale of the property at the Public Works
They
building.
were serious.
Congrats.
Yeah, they were serious.
Yeah. Finally.
They've already started moving in and expanding. When I met with them at the closing, he was talking about some potential new business that they've got coming their way, some sizable companies that hopefully are going to come. They believe that, I think I put this in the email, but in the first quarter sometime, they'll at least be putting up a 5,000 square foot building, and then maybe they'll do 2 5,000 square foot buildings, or they may just do one 10,000 square foot building, depending on the amount of work that's coming in. They still think there's maybe 20 jobs at the new facility as well. So, they're giving us till the first quarter to get our materials moved, but they're already starting to move in. Like I said, got them connected with Matt, our building inspector, today, so that he can walk through everything with them, and because they were having questions about stuff. So, and then I'll probably need to get them connected with the fire department as well, because they probably are going to have different needs, and that's one of the things that they've asked for, is to make sure that anytime we're doing a new building or any expansions or anything,
Right.
they're included to make sure that they
the
know.
chief will need to know that, so.
Yeah, I'll send him an email.
Good job executing on that.
Yeah, because we'll have more hazmat on that too.
Yeah, the closing went perfect. So congratulations to Shanna. She had all the documents, everything got signed. It was perfect. So everything went well. Took a while to get to that point with all the changes, but we got there. As far as the Public Works property purchase, we did already get our check, right? The money
What check?
from the wire transfer
Yes,
for
the
the
wire
sale of the building.
Yeah, we got.
And so I'm putting all that's in the Illinois funds under buildings and grounds, and we'll be holding that as we move forward on doing the property prep, that we can spend some money out of there. We don't have to finance the whole project. But the closing scheduled for this Thursday at 1 o'clock. Shauna, you still have you have a blank check, right, in the packet we gave you?
Yes, we still have that.
And that's all we just need the plat and the cashier's check.
Correct.
You'll have the cashier's check. You'll give that to him. Are you going to be at the closing?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll get it to you. If not, we'll have to get it to Sean or whatever.
I can always take it to Sean.
That would be fine.
The other thing we've got to do is we have our final easement. So there's an ordinance in here to grant or to do the easement with our neighbors on that property to the east. We have to do it contingent upon the closing. So we would vote on the easement contingent upon the successful closing. The very last page shows you what we're granting the neighbors to the east. Basically, the current drive that they have along the north side of the property, and then an easement along the east side of the property down to the edge of their property, 16 foot easement, so that they can get into their
Driveway.
Yeah, driveway and their building and their barn and all that kind of stuff.
Are we gonna have to do anything with that barn?
No. They'll have 16 feet coming out from it. That'll be theirs to do with.
Yeah, it's basically up to them.
One of the things we've talked about, you guys will have to ultimately decide if we want to spend the money, but we've talked about maybe putting a privacy fence on the inside of the easement all along that side.
On the west side of the easement there, just put a fence down there. But that may be harder, if we do put a fence there, it may be harder for those guys to plow or whatever.
Yeah, it's, we'll look at it when they're.
Basically run along the back of the buildings.
Correct. Yeah. And then, I don't know how you guys feel, but Caleb was thinking that we needed to put enclose the Public Works property so that people can't get in there. I mean, it's back there, so people can't get in and mess with the equipment or mess with the building or anything like that. But again, we can have that conversation later as we get it all laid out. But
you mean to put a fence around it or something temporarily?
No, to fence the Public Works property altogether. Not privacy, a chain link or whatever on 3 sides of it, and then just the privacy on the back. But again, we can have that conversation later. We don't need to do it now. So this would we need to
do on the north side.
Huh?
Where would you put a fence on the north side?
I probably wouldn't. I'd probably only do the Public Works building as the rectangle at the bottom. So I'd probably only fence from there over just the Public Works area. Does that make sense? And not fence the other part?
On 3 sides, that would be the 4th side.
Yeah, the 4th side would be between what's showing as the 2 buildings there. The fence kind of through there. Does that make sense? Again, I don't know that we need it. It was just something that was brought up.
So we need to vote on that?
Yeah, we need to vote on this, and then again, if the closing, assuming a successful closing, which I believe we'll have, then I'll go back to the Smothers and get their signatures on the easement.
Make a motion, we approve an ordinance granting easement from the village of Ansley to Kevin and Lori Smothers as shown on the page.
Contingent.
Second.
Motion by Beaver. Second by Pearson. Any further discussion? comments, questions? This ordinance will be ordinance 25-09-02. And roll call at Pearson,
Yes.
Chris Johnson.
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Miller.
Yeah.
Motion carries.
Before we go to the public works building quotes, you wanted to have Nathan jump in on the electric aggregation. That way you don't have to stay.
It's fine. It's fine. I actually enjoyed this sometimes. I can see all the municipalities around.
Wow, you have a 6.
It's your call, Nathan.
I can honestly keep your business rolling like normal. It's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
All right, so we put out a common spec. Pass this around. There's 3. That I think you guys all had a chance to look at for the new building, proposed new building.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, they're just.
Same.
So we sent it out to Bloonier. We sent it to EB. We sent it to Morton. We sent it to Wick, and Finer Construction. 2 places this year. We've gotten Bloonier, EB, and Wick back. Still waiting on Finer, and Morton has not gotten back to us. They tried to schedule a meeting, and then but they never got back. What I did here is I included this was the best layout. All of them had layouts or whatever, but this one was the nicest one, the Bloonier one. So I just used it for that purpose. So this is what the design of the building would look like. And again, we kind of put everything in at this point. We can always back things out later if we decide that we want to. And then I put on the very front in my terrible handwriting the prices. So Wick is the top one. Yeah, at $620. Bloonier $598, and EB at $576. So all of them in kind of within whatever $40,000 of each other.
Is that completed with
That is
on the second page?
As turnkey.
Okay.
Yep. You walk in.
With the break room and the offices and all that.
Everything. And like I said, we went ahead and did everything. We put in the in-floor heat. We put in the spray foam in the walls. We did the whole 9 yards. If y'all say, hey, we don't want to spend that much money, we can say, well, we're not going to do the in-floor heat, or we're not going to do the spray foam in the walls, or we're going to, eliminate a bay, or
We had anticipated like 700 or something.
Yes.
well, but
We still have
But that
property work to do,
that
right?
includes,
Everything else.
so the buying of the property, which is
And the clearing out of the property.
correct. But I think we're probably, based on the way the numbers are coming in, and giving credit to Roger and Brad, they've been over there busting there. I don't know if you've been back there, but they've cleared out a ton of that brush. And I've got quotes on the building removal. I'm waiting for one more, but at least one of them came in lower than what I had anticipated.
Where do you think we're at now? Just ballpark.
What do you mean?
Like what we've spent, where we're going to anticipate spending.
Well, we've only spent $10,000 roughly. We'll write a check for $49,000 to buy the property with all the fees and everything in it. So $50,000 plus the 10 that we spent on legal and other stuff. So that's 60. I think to take the buildings out is probably going to be around 20-ish. So that's 80. We got to move the shed for the sportsman's club, or buy them a new one. $10,000 maybe, 90. And then we got to put in the driveway and the roads. And we're going to do that work ourselves, but we're going to have to buy all the rock and stuff. So that I don't know what that'll cost. I don't have an idea on that. And then there'll be some final prep work for preparing the property for the building to go up.
So we're,
But I think we'll be under the 170
yeah, we're right
or
in there.
the 150, I guess. Yeah. If we spent six. So my plan was, and again, you and I've talked about it, but is to pay for kind of all the prep work out of the cash, the money that we got for the sale of the building, and then only finance the building. So if we put up a building, then that we'd have a loan on that building, and
Just on the building, not the property.
correct. Everything would be paid for except for the building.
Now remind me, bidding out stuff like this, we basically have to take the lowest bid?
No. The way we did this one is anything over 20 grand, you can either bid it, and then you have the open bid process, where you open them when everybody's present, or we can quote it, and the only thing is we have to have, what's the number, Shanna?
That's
2/3. I think 2/3 of the board, has to approve it if we did the quote process.
That's why we did it.
Did they all give equal estimates of timeline for build?
Everybody's roughly spring. I mean, it's going to be probably March, April before they start. Everybody's on that timeline.
And then probably a month to do it all.
I don't know. You guys probably know better than I would.
I'd say 2.5, 3 months turnkey.
3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, the building will probably be up and
They'll do the building in a week and a half or two. They'll take the rest of it. So.
Yeah. The big thing will be the concrete at the beginning, and then.
They'll have to do the plumbing.
From my experience, I'd go with Blunier. Morton will probably be your highest, but I would go with Blunier just for the quality.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think we're on the same page. That's where Roger and I were. Just dealing with them throughout the whole process, it was a different experience.
Blunier's hard to deal with.
Yeah, they
When
know.
you sent the quotes, it felt like they were kind of a step ahead of the rest of them. You know what I mean? Their stuff seemed a little more put together.
So they're $22,000 more, but that's not even.
If it's for
When
the
you're
whole
spending that
payment
much,
process.
what's 20 grand?
Yeah, I don't know what is. I mean, if it eases out other stuff and it's easier to work with.
Cool.
I'm also working with the Economic Development Group to go through the TIF agreement that we've got with Ergonomic Partners. That's how we're going to fund it. Use that money that's coming in with the property taxes collateral for the loan.
Right.
And we gave them 3 institutions to go get quotes on the loan from.
There's nothing to vote on yet. This is just information.
No, I mean, we could probably. I didn't know I was going to have it all, but a lot of stuff's come in just the last couple of days. So I kind of wish I would have put those on the agenda. Does anybody feel strongly one way or the other about any of the builders, or are you all pretty much?
I defer to people in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be doing Caleb, Rod, and be like, you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a real big commercial building, I'd be wanting like a Williams Brothers or something like that.
Eric, Rod, Caleb, and
Rod, what were you going to say?
Roger.
I'm leaning towards.
All right. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we all are. That next meeting is the 5th, but I mean, if we're kind of all on that page, I can give them a nod that we're headed that direction, and then get in the queue.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
It's exciting.
That's a lot. That's all I have for buildings.
Streets and alleys? We don't have to vote on the invoice. She already covered that. I don't know, have you been over to look at the sidewalk?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Looks like a sidewalk.
It is a little closer than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be
Bigger?
no, I thought it'd be in towards.
Yeah, they went right up against the curb and gutter.
But yeah, no, I was expecting them to have a little space and then the curving together. So,
We're only limited to so much there with it being an IDOT right away, so.
well, I know, but with everybody signing off, I thought we were taking more of their.
Yeah, no one's giving anything.
Work slope.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. I went over there the other day. I was kind of impressed with it personally, but
Yeah, like I said, the only thing I don't like, and I wish they would have designed it different, is on the west end where it goes from 7 feet down to 5 feet. It's kind of it's abrupt. Yeah, there's like a hard edge in it. I wish they would have kind of blended that a little bit.
Oh, is it just 7 foot square
And then it's 5 foot square.
Oh, where it meets McAllen.
They didn't taper it?
No.
No.
It's like 5.
No, that was their. We
Yeah,
gotta
and
get
so
this
then-
done.
So I went, and when I saw the forms, I started talking to them about it, and they're like, "Well, that's what the engineers designed." So
Yeah, they're not gonna change it out there.
Oh, heck no.
Now to see how many people actually use it.
Yeah.
Yellow.
I think it'll be used quite a bit.
yeah, and then they'll go over there, and that grocery tax will be in place.
What do we have on the road? Mr. Sidak?
It's all part of the master.
For community economic development, we have another grant disbursement for project 25R1 for a roof. Everything looks to be kosher in the form, so I'll go ahead and make a motion. So our amount is going to be $5,000. So I'll make a motion that we approve the disbursement of $5,000 to project 25R1.
Second.
Motion by Sidak, second Pearson. Any comments, questions, concerns?
No, I'm sorry.
Pearson. And we'll roll call. Chris Johnson.
yes.
Sidak.
Yes.
Weaver. Miller.
Yeah.
Pearson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. On the 23rd, which is next week, there's going to be a joint TIF board review meeting. It's an annual thing. Brandon, we figured I was going from the village because that's like
I'll be there.
when I'm at work.
We'll be fine.
Teaching America's youth and all that.
Yeah, it's just a procedural thing. All the taxing bodies got to get together and have an
Takes like 10
update.
minutes.
Okay. And on the 28th of December, we'll be, or not December, October, we'll be having another CEC. And then I'll thank them from you, Brian. Finally.
We're going to put together the what the grants might look like for next year. I'll bring that to Zach and I'll bring that to the next meeting.
Yeah.
On the 7th, so you can see that.
There's been a good deal of discussion at our previous meetings about just sort of what the grants are going to look like going forward, and also how things are going to look with TIF money once we get to a good stable amount of TIF income. Other than that, I have nothing to report.
Administration report.
It's not coming through to me like it was. I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, they changed the reports, but I
I got like I deciphered August 1st to August 31st. 6 stops, 3 citations. It's not giving me any details. And on 9/5 it says identity theft, and 9/8 a mental case. It's not really
Mental or metal?
mental.
Oh,
They were at your house again?
It was on Murphy Road. But it was a 400 block.
So how many is that?
Well, yeah.
Just give me.
6, 7, 8 calls from 8/1 to 9/8. Which doesn't
Looks
seem right,
good to
but
me. That's all I need.
it's coming through real. It's not like we're used to just have them all listed and where it was and what it was. And, It's not coming through like that.
I'll look at it next time she sends it and see
Yeah.
what I see.
Yeah, I see that.
It's not very descriptive.
Mental.
They used to say just dates. It'd say give you a date and a window, and then it'd just be all row, all laid out.
Apparently they had somebody had a privacy concern about the data that was being shared in the reports that they were sending out. So they had to reformat everything.
It's all public information.
Wow, I'm just telling you that's why the reports are different. And I agree.
Because I think you can go to the courthouse and get anybody go down there and get all that stuff.
One thing that's not under other business, I know we got Nate coming up. I wanted to bring up, I know our next board meeting is October 7th.
Which is 3 weeks.
Right. I will be gone for a week after that. I will be out of the United States, or continental United States. At that meeting, I'll do a pro tem. Are you going to be around in October, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that ahead of time. So
I have one other thing too, but we can let Nathan go first.
Nathan, you're up, sir.
All right.
Was it worth it to stay?
Sure. It's always worth it. And that is sad that I'm entertained by other municipalities. But when you serve as a trustee on a municipality, you're intrigued by, well, how do they do it differently? What do they do better than we do? Because it's probably a lot. My name is Nathan Hendricks. I'm a consultant in the energy space. Muir Electric Aggregation is now up. In the past, I think you guys utilized Good Energy as a broker. We have recommended another broker just because I know that not just you guys, but many other municipalities have been underwater with just how it's been managed. We look at things a little bit differently in our world. We don't manage it and look at 3 years ahead and say, what if, or scare you in a situation, or the residents in this case, and say, hey, this is where we think it's going to go. We don't like to think about anything. We like to be proven that we're wrong. So we'd rather keep you safe than sorry, meaning we're going to give you a cheap rate, but for a short distance, and then we're going to revisit this because we're going to let the market determine where we go next, not just assume anything. Because that's really why they're underwater, is just from the assumption of what they thought was going to happen, and then what if it doesn't happen? Well, guess what? You're underwater. So with this said, the recommendation was to do your current contract isn't up until the December meter read. So right now you're with Good Energy, which I believe is through Homefield ING as your supplier, and your rate is like 12 point, I believe, somewhere around 12.937 until December. From that point on, if you go with us on the aggregated rate, it's going to go to 9.248. So it's actually going to go down. The reason it's going down is we're not going to lock in capacity for the summer. We're going to let it slide and just going to lock in cheaper capacity from December through next May. Then we're going to revisit it because we're at that point. We'll know what capacity looks like for the new Ameren territory from May to the following June, and at that point, we'll reset the roadmap. Because if we don't do that, we're going to end up pushing the residents into probably a 13 or 14 or 15 cent rate. I don't think that's a positive thing to do because you don't know where Ameren's going to be. You have zero clue. We don't either. So I take the risk. Let that risk come to you, and then you determine at that point what you do. Because we've done this, tell the residents go back to Ameren and enjoy their rates for the year because the market can't beat the rate. Because Ameren could be cheaper. It is that possibility. We've seen it. We've done it. So we'll do that. We're not just going to set it and forget it and just bank on the fact that, oh, well, we got them locked in for 3 years. That's not how we recommend doing business. So right now, we're just recommending a December meter read through a May meter read at that 9.248 rate. And then that's what the residents will be locked into. They're going to be notified just like they were in the past from a postcard from the actual supplier. They either opt in or opt out, depending on your program. In this situation, you have to opt out of the program because you're automatically opted in. And then obviously they have questions, concerns. They obviously can call the village, but our job also as consultants is something we deliver on above and beyond this is we will communicate on a monthly basis where Ameren's rates are. So you can put that on your website and say, here's Ameren's rate to compare for this month. So if somebody ever determines that, oh, hey, I want to opt out, they can do that. They can opt out of the rate. The problem with doing it, so just keep in mind, once you opt out of a program like this, you have 2 months to decide if you want to opt back in with something else, whether on your own or another supplier. If you don't do that, you have to stay with Ameren for 10 months. So that's a period of 12 total months. So the problem with opting out of any program is What if the next time around we're way lower than average? You're stuck, because that's just what the law dictates at the ICC level, the Illinois Commerce Commission, because they dictate the rules on how all this is set up. So that's kind of where I'm at. Again, we're recommending the 9248 from, again, December's meter read date through May, and then we'll reset this early next year at some point once we understand what the futures look like. But right now, we don't want to push you out any further than that.
So in the way of background, we had normally been in the Peoria aggregation. So it was Peoria and I don't know how many, was 20 some
It's
towns
huge. That's a big aggregation.
that were involved in it. And we were dealing with some people in New Jersey to manage it or whatever.
And they weren't doing too well.
And then Cassandra introduced us to Nathan, and he's been helping us with our energy cost already. So this building, the Public Works building, all that kind of stuff, we're already going through him, and that saved us some money. This year, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but at a meeting previous on the aggregation, you guys voted to give me the ability to make, if I had to make a short-term decision, that I had the opportunity
Power
to
and
do.
authority to do so.
So when the aggregation that we were in came back and had us look at it, and then I talked to Nathan, I liked what I heard here better, that it's cheaper and we're not locked in for the long period of time.
Right.
So that's why we were saying I wanted to bring this to you guys, and hopefully you'll agree that this is what we need to do.
East Peoria is on track, and so is Eureka.
That's correct. Both of them are on track.
So both they pulled out of the other aggregation.
They pulled out of the Peoria aggregation. The reason I know that is Mayor Lynn from Eureka and Mayor Cole from East Peoria both contacted me directly, and they weren't happy with the numbers. They didn't know if I had heard about it, and I said I was aware of it because Brian had already kept me informed of what's going on with it, and I told him we would make that decision when it came time. But I said Brian had the authority to do so at that time.
So the big issues we always have with this is residents, and we all agreed, residents don't like that they get automatically signed up for it and they have to opt out.
Right.
They don't like that, but that's the only way the programs are available to us. So that means as a board, we have a decision. Do we want to offer residents an opportunity of a 25% savings on their energy and take the heat that it's an opt-out program, right? And it's not hard to opt out. It's
very simple. You either can log in to do it, you can call to do it, or you can just sign a little postcard, send it back in, and you're dropped.
There's just noise for 2 weeks.
I understand. But the other thing is there's always noise that doesn't really save. And so what we've agreed is he's going to give me the numbers so that we can publish them and say we're either saving or we're not. You know what I mean? And give them the opportunity to make a change at that point if you want to.
Good. And it's a short-lived one this year, right? It's December transition. You're talking 5-month program. It's very short, but hopefully as we move forward, you won't see that. We'll do yearly increments, but we won't. Again, I'm going to promise you here, we will never do 3 years out. It just doesn't make sense. We don't know where energy numbers are going to be.
Because your fluctuation.
It's so massive, and you're going to take that risk, and so are the homeowners, right? I mean, the supplier's not going to take the risk. They're going to put all the risk back on you as a consumer to pay those rates, and they're going to inflate them to cover that risk factor that they don't know either, because the market hasn't shown itself up. So why do it? It doesn't make any sense. You may see me more often, which I apologize, but it's the right thing to do for the residents. So just on that note.
So I guess I would like to vote to say yay or nay on this program.
So,
and then I'll put out a communication on the app that explains everything to people.
Make a motion.
Well, you'll do it. I'll write it. You'll put it out. Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the aggregation program agreement between Constellation New Energy and the Village of Nancy.
Second.
That was easy enough. Motion by Pearson, second by Chris Johnson. Any comments, concerns, questions on 8 here? Okay. Since we're not spending any money, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. No naysayers. Motion carries. Brian, you have the authority to carry that torch, sir.
All right. One last thing I've got. How do I get to my desktop without minimizing?
You have to minimize your email. Or go to the far right bottom corner.
Go here where?
Alright.
Far right. Far right. Keep going. Now click. Now your
Hey
desktop.
Nathan, is there a
So-
D in your name?
No D.
You remember the property that we had the issue with, and we gave them extra time?
The car lot?
Yes.
You were done with
You
it.
can sit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Things going. I remember that.
I want you to tell me whether or not we should start.
Sure looks
Yep.
like it.
They get another car?
They've had what, 90 days now?
Oh my gosh.
That's wait. How?
That's
When
what
is
it
that?
looks like.
Refrigerator out front?
That's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, that was, well, 2 days ago.
Yeah, they've had their chances.
I'd say all the stuff just laying against the cars is enough reason.
Dude,
Well, he's running a scrap yard and trying to
I don't think he is. He
Used
works at the
cars.
Dollar General now.
cars sell.
I don't know if he's still scrapping as much.
We will move forward.
I don't even care. It's just $25. It just needs to be
It's $25 a day.
So it's been that way a long time.
We can get that, but we could, if it adds up enough, we can put a lien on it.
Yeah.
Cannot put a lien on the house for an ordinance violation.
Myself.
Per the attorney.
But
Only
you
labor
can't,
costs.
you can't recover the dollars.
Only labor costs. Per the attorney.
So what do we
Oh, well, then
do
we'll start
as far as,
checking. I don't
I
know
know we
that
gotta
we're
find
so,
them, but do we
I don't know that
do
we're
we-
so
do
much
we-
worried
haul stuff off and give them the bill?
We have that authority eventually if the fines don't get us to that process, or get us to the point we want to be at. Yes, we can come in and say, we're gonna clean the place up. So like over on Runkle, we got to that point.
Can we give them a fence ordinance if they put up a white fence?
No.
We can't have most of the roof and fence.
I think as always, I think we've been very gracious.
Very
It's been
lenient.
90 days.
Yeah, understand.
And they did a little better for a
They
little
did,
bit, but
they
now it
did,
looks like
and
it's
they
all
didn't
back.
sustain it, you're right, that's right. I'm done.
Okay. Next board meeting is again October 7th.
What are the other?
School Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's, they don't have, where lawyers are talking about the contract.
Oh, okay. So ixnay on the school meeting. Okay. Anybody else have anything to come before the board this evening? Hearing none.
Thank you, Shanna.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.